Welcome to our series, the Bhagavad Gita for All. Namaskar. Chapter 13, Kṣhetra Kṣhetrajña Vibhāg Yog, or the Yoga of the distinction between the field and the knower of the field.
Mahabhutanya buddhiravyaktamev cha indriyani dashaikancha pancachendriya gocharaha.
Tomorrow, on August 15, we celebrate our Independence Day, completing 75 years since our freedom struggle. Tagged as the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, our celebrations for this big event began back on 12th March 2021, marking 75 weeks of celebration. Many events and competitions are being organized by states and the government at large, including commemorating our unsung heroes and milestones, acknowledging ideas that have shaped the country, and reinforcing commitments to various policies and actions. The week brings in festivities of Gokulashtami or Krishna Janmashtami, marking the birth of Sri Krishna, the 8th avatar of Lord Vishnu. The day is marked by offering prayers and fasting with enactments of Sri Krishna's life and a night vigil or Ratra Jagran. The following day is a popular celebration called Dahi Handi, celebrating Sri Krishna's love for milk products like butter and yogurt. Warm greetings of our Independence Day and Gokulashtami to all of you. Let's get back to our reading of the 13th Adhyay. Arjun, having all the attention of Sri Krishna, thought he should clarify about the soul, something separate from our body. And thus began the discussion of the field where all the action takes place and an entity that watches all of this from a distance. We've been introduced to the concept of the field and the knower of the field as we began reading a new Adhyay last week. We referred to an analogy of an actual field, a farm, and what happens when we sow seeds in the land. Let's dive deep to know more. The distinction between Kṣhetra and Kṣhetrajña can be simplified as the distinction between the body and the spirit. If you look at your 5 sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, it is your body and the parts of the body that help you perceive the outcome, using these senses like sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch. Apart from this, there are the 5 great elements that make up the universe: air, water, fire, earth, and space. In this environment, using your senses, you learn to do things like writing, swimming, or playing an instrument. But the soul doesn't know about these senses. It uses the body's intellect and mind to make a sense of what is happening in mortal existence. The soul has divine nature, and this divine nature is disconnected from the material world. It's called Kṣhetrajña because it has knowledge of the field of material existence. It isn't the material existence itself. Let's put this in a perspective. A soul is aware of the body it occupies. However, it may not have an entire knowledge of the same body along with the intellect and the mind. Above everything is the supreme soul, the higher power. Now this higher power knows the field, the Kṣhetra. You can think of this knower as a light of all lights that can dispel darkness. This very knower is the goal of knowledge, and at the same time, this knower is also the knowledge that can get you closer to your goal. Sri Krishna defines this knowledge or knowing for us. What knowledge one must know is the very distinction between the soul, the material body, and the Supreme Lord. It doesn't indicate knowing anything else like worldly knowledge. Now, knowledge or jnana appeals to our intellect. We like to know about things, of how they work, of their connection to other things, their application, and so on. However, here's something one must know about knowledge. Knowledge can be accepted only if it makes sense to you, only if it's logical. When it comes to spiritual knowledge, we have some references. that can help validate it today. These include our Vedas, Puranas, and historical texts. Let's look at some of these references. The Vedas were revealed in the firstborn Lord Brahma. It's believed that the Vedas manifested from the breath of God. They were passed down from one generation to the next orally. Vedas are referred to as apaurushaya because they are not created by any person. They are also called as Shruti, or knowledge received through the ear. Let's analyze what role sage Vyas had to play in this. He was able to present this knowledge of the Vedas in a book and furthermore divided this one big body of knowledge into 4. We know these 4 portions as Rigved, Yajurved, Samaved and Atharvaved. That's also the reason why sage Vyas was called Ved Vyas, meaning one who divided the Vedas. In the Manusmriti, it said, any spiritual principle must be validated on the authority of the Vedas. There are many other texts that one could refer to make sense of our rich philosophy and knowledge shared by a supreme force. Sri Krishna thus calls it Vedanta, where Ved is the Vedas and Anta is the conclusion. Vedanta is thus the conclusion of knowledge. Dhanyavad.